Get your lick back. If a nigga gon' do something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop, let this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. Get your lick back. If a nigga gon' do something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop, let this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX.
J-Way.
I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless.
I'm gone.
Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck.
Give me that.
Into the trends. See a lead, be the band.
Welcome to Bleachers and Speakers. I'm your host, June. Before I get into this featured player of the week, old school edition, I want to remind everyone to subscribe to Bleachers and Speakers on YouTube and make sure you're following us on all the aggregators. That's anywhere you can listen to a podcast. You can find us, Bleachers to Speakers, FFSN, in your search. Make sure you're following us. Make sure that notification bell is on, so when we drop content, you will get an alert and download those episodes. When you download those episodes, it lets us know where our listeners are and who our listeners are, so we can definitely target those areas for improvement and target new areas to be heard. So please make sure you're downloading those episodes. Today, I went deep into the bag a little bit, trying to find an old school player, and it just dawned on me I had to talk about this guy. This guy was about 6'6", 260 pounds. I'm talking about tight end, former Detroit Lion tight end, David Sloan. David Sloan was a Detroit Lion from 95 to 2001. He played in about 91 games. He had 136 receptions during that time as a Lion and 1,492 receiving yards and 13 touchdowns. He was a Pro Bowler in 1999 and recognized as one of the league's top tight ends. He was a Lions team captain. He was very well respected in the locker room, and he was a reliable target on the football field. He was known for his blocking ability and ability to make key catches. Sloan played a crucial role for the Detroit Lions, particularly in the late 1990s when the team made multiple playoff appearances. After his time in Detroit, he played 2 seasons with New Orleans before retiring. David Sloan, wow, you have to be a real diehard Lions fan to remember this guy. I mean, it's not that far back. Then again, 1995, we're talking 30 years. So if you're an adult in your, I want to say 40s, you might remember this guy. So it's a lot of new school people out here that's paying attention to these podcasts now. So you may not, but I remember him being a very, very productive tight end and a reliable pass catcher. Back then in the 1990s, this was your security blanket for these quarterbacks. It just seemed like every team had that one reliable tight end that was their security blanket. And I think Troy Aikman was one of those. I think a lot of quarterbacks did, but in the 90s, Troy Aikman made his living off when they doubled their receivers. They had a tight end open in the seams. David Sloan was no different. He was a difference maker at the position. He was a very good run blocker and pass catcher, as I said before. So once again, this week's old school player of the week is Detroit Lions tight end, former Detroit Lions tight end, David Sloan. I want to remind everyone to please subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube.
Get your lick back. If a nigga gon' do something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop, let this shit